Greetings, Patrick here, have do.Will View, and we are here for another film review. Today's film is an English film called The Cellar. It came out in 2024 and written and directed by Jamie Langlands and starring Meghan Adara. Now, by the time that you see this review, we have already will have been talking to both of them on Eight Questions With. And as you know, I don't do reviews of movies before I do my interviews, always afterwards. All right. So The Cellar, interesting movie. Interesting movie. Um, I tell you one thing. As far as set production goes, set design goes, this is a keeper. Um, the movie opens up with Abigail, played by Megan Adara. We open up and we're in like a corridor, like underneath like a church. It's very dank and very small, and has lots of rooms. And we hear people screaming, and some people are captured, and they've been kidnapped. And it seems to me that they're getting killed by an unknown person. Um, One girl attempts to make her way out, but before she could, she frees her hands. But before she could do anything, the guy comes and injects her with some sort of medication that knocks her out. We don't know if it kills her or not, though it probably doesn't. I don't think so because she still had her gag in her mouth. So anyway, then we meet Abigail, and she wakes up and she's also in her room and also captured. And so uh, she wants, she's like panicking a little bit. But then, and this is interesting too, she wants to get out of her cell, and she does. And she looks like MacGyver in doing so. Very, a very smart young lady to be able to escape from her room, has her wits about her, and it looks legitimate. It looks great. You're not sitting there shaking your head at it. You're looking at there going like, yeah, I'm believing this. But she manages to get out of her cell with a little ingenuity that only women could feature. She gets out, and then she starts wandering this labyrinth trying to get out. And as she's doing so, she's seeing all these missing person posters, and so there must be other people down here. She's not the only one. Uh, what's really foreboding though is the fact that the posters, they're not new. They've been down there for a little while. They've had dust on them, so there has been a lot of victims down there. And so she starts looking for a way out, and soon enough she's being tracked by a masked fellow. Now it's interesting in the fact that you don't know who's chasing who, because some aspects Abigail is chasing the stranger, and then the stranger's chasing her, and it seems like they're playing hide and seek, and Abigail's doing a good job staying away. And as this is going on, we also flash back to where Abigail was in like a AA meeting at a church, and she's the leader is Gabriel, and there's a small group there, and they're all talking about it's like an AA meeting, so they're talking about their sobriety and health and whatnot. And so we go back into the cell, and lo and behold, Abigail manages to escape until she doesn't. She goes out. She looks like she's gonna be able to get outside, but she runs into this lady in the elevator, and the lady has, I'm not sure if they were snake eyes or cat eyes. Both their pupils were, you could argue one or the other. because their eyes are like orange striped or black striped. I mean, I've seen cat eyes look just like that. So for the sake of argument, because we're cat people, we're gonna go with their like cat eyes. They could be snake eyes, but I don't think so. I think they're cat eyes. And that's important. It's important that they're eyes, because there's two type of eyes here. You got the cat eyes, and then you got the death eyes. You know, the solid black possessed type of deal. But this person pops up, and they're able to recapture Abigail, the lady with the cat eyes. Uh, Now, interesting too is that the fact that while this is all going on, the dialogue has just been pretty much just relegated to the AA meeting. There's no dialogue while Abigail is looking for her way out. Um, well, she wakes up again, and this time she's in a comfortable bed, but she's not tied up. She's not being held captive per se in the traditional sense. But she does get out. She starts looking around. Looking, okay, look, I'm first I've been in a cell. Now I'm in this beautiful house, and the house is gorgeous. But again, she's being held against her will. So she gets out and she starts looking for a way out. And this time she runs across more people during her travels, and some people are, including her. She looks at herself too, and she knows that she has cat eyes, and so that sort of freaks her out a little bit. Like, I have cat eyes. Well, that's good, Abigail. In case you have to see in the dark, you can. Cat eyes are pretty helpful to have. Uh, so she travels all around this house, and you get a sense that I got a sense it was the same thing from the first part of the movie, because it's the same thing except it's a nicer atmosphere. It's one guard, and you don't know if she's chasing him, or she's tracking him to find out the way out, or is he tracking her to try to return her to wherever she was, the room she was in. Not really sure. Only that Abigail starts seeing other people and hearing noises, and the people that she's running across are the people in her support group, and they have cat eyes. Um, so she's trying to get out, and it's very difficult. She finds a cell phone. The cell phone doesn't work. I think that was a big clue right there. Um, what was going to happen? And then she does get out. She manages to escape, and she heads toward home. But while after she's at home, something ominous happens. All right. Like I said, this is a very interesting movie. It's very avant-garde. Um, I wouldn't necessarily call it a traditional horror film. I believe that the director Jamie, I believe that he is using Abigail in her, because she's been in that group, so she's an addict. I believe that he uses that as the basis for his story, her addiction. Um, and I only got that basically because, as far as what happens to her, because basically the eyes and the people in their group, um, the people with the cat eyes seem to be on the way to recovery per se, and then the people who don't have cat eyes, it's ominous. I think they're. I don't think they. I don't think. I think their addiction gets them. The people with the cat eyes are alive, living, and the people with the dark pupils are gone. I'm just how I saw it. There's not enough dialogue or backstory to really give you any sort of insight. You're just totally guessing on what you're looking at. There's no proper narrative. Um, I do think having basically the same movie on two different sets, I didn't understand that. I mean, you showed the first half, and to me, it's like, okay, so this is her addiction at its worst, and then she gets up to where she's recovering. She's at the house, but she still can't get out. She still can't seem help. I don't know really what he was trying to tell us here. Um, and so it makes it's because we really don't know. It's a little bit. It's up to you. It's up to you, the viewer, to figure out what you're seeing. I could be totally wrong on what I'm seeing, but that's just what I'm seeing. There's until and we'll talk with Jamie about this, or we will have talked to Jamie about this. But that's how I'm seeing it. Um, I got to give hats off to Meghan Adara. Um, what an interesting casting choice. I can't tell you how happy I was to see it. It was refreshing. It was refreshing. It was a just a young girl next door, a girl that you would be going to class with, riding a bus with, just you know, just an everyday person. And I think that works in a movie like this very, very well. Um, and allows you to focus in on her acting because she does a lot of acting without the voice, without using her voice, except when she's trying to use the phone. Um, I thought she did a really nice job in a really difficult situation because you're asking her to pretty much act without dialogue and against no scene partners. That's difficult. That's difficult because you gotta maintain that high motivation and high drive, and it'd be really easy. Just you're not acting off of anybody. It'd be real easy to just not give it to all because it's like I said, you have no energy to draw upon for your performance. It all has to come within. Plus, well, you're an addict, so draw upon that. Easier said than done. But Megan Adara does a nice job here, and I thought the director, Jamie, I thought he did a really nice job in getting it from her. I would recommend one thing though. I recommend if he does another movie like this, you have to give the viewer just a little few more crumbs. Just dropping us in here without any dialogue, or very minimum dialogue. It's hard to follow the movie. A lot of people will probably just give up on this, which I hope they don't. It's worth a watch. Um, it's like a template to see what he could do for the next time. It's like a jumping off point. Now, is this a movie that you could watch again and again? No. A one-time watch will suffice. Um, Unless he puts it out on home release and he has a director's commentary, then I would recommend that because I like to see him talk about his movie. But otherwise, it's 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 a it's a good movie to watch. I mean, it's interesting to watch, but not enough so that I would, not unless I did it like, with another similar movie, like a bottle room movie, or you have a couple of actors only in one room just dialoguing back and forth. Otherwise, I would not. I would recommend the movie, but I don't see myself watching it again. I do see myself following both our actor and our director. I'd like to see I'd like to see other work by Megan Adara and see what Jamie can come up with next because he has promise. And one thing about this movie too, it is an English film, an English horror film, and it has no Winnie the Pooh in it. So, all right. Well, that's it on my review of the Cellar. Again, thumbs up. Bonus for acting and set design. Set design is fire, especially the first segment. It's fire. Love it. But the story itself needs a little bit more to chew on. Not enough there, not enough meat on there to really attract engagement. So, all right. Well, that's it for us. Thanks for watching, and we will see you for the next one. And like I said, by the time that you hear this interview, hear this film review, it'll be past our interview. And I'll be putting that down in the description box, and you guys can go out there and meet Jamie and Meghan. All right, we'll talk at you soon. Peace.